Over the weekend, reports surfaced that Poland has delivered a batch of modernized T-72 tanks to Ukraine as part of its 46th military aid package, which was announced on February 24, 2025. The tanks have reportedly already reached Ukraine and may even be deployed on the front lines. But what's the story behind these tanks and why does it matter? Poland has been one of the strongest supporters of Ukraine since Russia's full-scale invasion in February 2022. They've consistently provided military equipment, humanitarian aid, and diplomatic backing. In fact, these modernized T-72 tanks come as part of Poland's broader €200 million military aid package, announced on the third anniversary of the war's escalation. However, there's no official confirmation from the Polish government or Ukraine's general staff about the exact details of this delivery, so the claim remains somewhat speculative for now. But Artur Majczak, a well-known Polish military observer, seems to be confident that these tanks are already on the battlefield. The T-72 is a Soviet-era tank that's been in use since the 1970s. Despite its age, it's still one of the most widely used tanks in the world, with over 25,000 units produced. Its 125mm smoothbore gun is capable of firing different types of shells, including armor-piercing and high-explosive ones. It also has a V46.6 diesel engine, which allows it to reach speeds of up to 37 miles per hour. But Poland's T-72s aren't just the basic models. They've been modernized over the years. The upgraded T-72 M1R variants, for example, come with improved armor, better fire control systems, and night vision capabilities, so it's likely that the tanks being sent to Ukraine have these enhancements, making them more effective on the battlefield. For Ukraine, the T-72 has been a vital part of its military for decades. Ukrainian forces have been operating these tanks since the country's independence in 1991. The T-72s are relatively easy to maintain, and Ukrainian crews are already familiar with them, which makes them much easier to deploy than Western tanks like the Leopard 2. That means the T-72s can quickly fill the gaps left by any recent battlefield losses. While Poland has already sent over 260 T-72s since the beginning of the war, this new batch could help replace losses from the last couple of months. The number of tanks sent, however, remains unclear, but Majczak suggests that it should be enough to cover the gaps. Poland's support has been crucial for Ukraine, but there are growing concerns within Poland about depleting national reserves. After all, Poland is not just sending tanks, they're also modernizing their own military by acquiring more advanced platforms like the American M1 Abrams and South Korean K2 Black Panther. In fact, some Polish lawmakers have started questioning how much more military equipment Poland can afford to send without compromising its own security. This sentiment is echoed by some Polish citizens who are concerned about the country's defense capabilities while supporting Ukraine. On the Russian side, some military analysts like Dmitry Orlov argue that the T-72, despite being reliable, is outdated and could easily be countered by modern anti-tank systems like the Russian Kornet. The argument here is that the T-72 might not be enough to tip the balance in Ukraine's favor, especially as both sides deal with heavy casualties and high-tech warfare. Regardless of the specifics, this new delivery, if confirmed, further solidifies Poland's role as one of Ukraine's most important allies. Poland is geographically close to Ukraine and shares a history of tension with Russia, making the support not just strategic but deeply personal for many in Poland. However, Ukraine's defense strategy is complex. While the T-72s from Poland will certainly help bolster their defenses, there's still a need for more modern weapons and technologies to keep up with Russia's increasingly advanced capabilities. And as always, the ongoing conflict highlights a critical debate. Can Soviet-era equipment like the T-72 truly stand up against modern warfare, or is it just a temporary fix? As of now, we're still waiting for confirmation on whether these tanks have actually arrived and are operational, but if they have, they would be a significant part of Poland's ongoing commitment to Ukraine. What's clear, though, is that this war is far from over, and every piece of military aid carries not just tactical value, but also a deeply symbolic message. Europe will not back down in the face of aggression. We'll continue to follow this story as more details emerge, but one thing's for sure, Poland's role in supporting Ukraine remains crucial, and it looks like that support isn't going anywhere anytime soon.